Good to see you again.
Good to see you there.
Peter, I'll grab you quickly before you go, mate.
Can we do it now?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
He's in demand.
Some show on that. Danica Fullen for Boxing News, delighted to be joined by Peter Fury. Peter, when Gradus Kraus against Scott Forrest was announced on a couple of days' notice, there was a few eyebrows raised, a few concerns. This is a career cruiserweight Gradus was stepping in on, a good one, someone who has a very good amateur background, but any fears there were proved to be pretty misguided. That was a very dominant showing from your man.
Yeah, definitely. The work that him and his dad put in is amazing. He's a special talent, young Gradus. I've always said it. I don't say it lightly. I'm not saying he's going to be a world champion because I'm trying to promote the kid. I'm saying it because I see what he does in the gym. I see the opposition. I see what he does. So, listen, I said we wanted a tough fight. We got a tough fight with Scott Forrest, and it was everything I knew it would be, to be fair. So it ticked all the boxes.
It went the full 6 rounds, but I wonder, should it have? It was quite uncomfortable viewing the 5th and 6th. Your focus is fully on Gradus, of course, but when we were in those last 2 rounds, were you sort of thinking maybe the referee or the corner should have potentially stopped that fight?
I have to agree, yeah. I think he should have been pulled out because he was so far behind. He was not going to win. He's hitting with his best shots through the fight. It didn't work. So at that stage, after the 4th round, there's nothing more for him to do.
As I said at the start of the interview, it was a big statement from Gradus to be so dominant against a fighter like Scott Forrest. Where do we go from here? Because after such a big jump, how impressive he was, there's a lot of fanfare on social media from people who maybe hadn't seen Gradus box before. I've certainly seen a lot of that myself. Overheard you say it's going to be out in November in Holland, where I believe he's a bit of a star. Is that going to be another step up in levels?
Definitely, we're going to get a title for him. We're looking for a title fight for the 28th of November or the 27th in Rotterdam, and we're looking forward to it.
Have you put any thought into what route you might want to take Gradus down? The light heavyweight divisions, one of the premier divisions in the sport at a world level, and then domestically, I know Gradus is obviously not a UK fighter, but he's with yourself, he's in GBM, he's put a bit of a name in the UK. Is there a route you'd like to take him?
Do you know, we're just going to build him up, hopefully get him a title fight for November, so he can retire at the end of the year knowing he's had 9 fights and he's got a title. And it's all about getting him up in the rankings. And then with the publicity he's getting, he's fighting in Holland, where he comes from, he's fighting in England. He's going to grow, and it's going to spread about this kid. So then he's going to get the fights. We're at the minute thinking, he's low risk, high risk, low reward. But as the fights go on and he has a few fights and he's got a title behind him, then all these good domestic fights can happen.
Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, of course, the men at the top of the light heavyweight division alongside David Benavidez. Now, Bivol and Beterbiev in particular, they won't be around forever, both well into their 30s now. Are you confident that in a time frame of, say, 2 years, those belts potentially may start to become vacant? Is that the sort of time frame we could see Gradus in for a world title? Because based on that performance, there's not too many boxes left to tick.
No, definitely. He's on an elite level. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very pleased. Look, we've only had first really 6 solid rounds, and I want to see more of this. This is why we're trying to get him a title fight, a step up again, because we need quality opponents for him. Because when he steps down, he's going to blow them away, and they're asking more than what they're worth anyway, because they're thinking, I'm going to get blown away, so there's no point in having him. And we've had this job now. 5 pullouts nearly. The guy from France, he had a good record. He had some belts, I think, and usually the French are tough. But he let us down with only 12 days left, so he was scrambling for an opponent. So I can't thank Scott Forrest enough for taking this fight and giving us a good 6 rounds.
Is that one of the headaches of having a fighter this talented, that it can be harder to get people in the ring? Overheard you say to the lads there that it's more stressful getting the fights than actually the fights themselves.
Yeah, it is, especially with him, because it's hard to get journeyman that's going to get in there with him. Don't forget, he's giving like 10 kilos away in weight, to get this fight. So just to show you, it's not easy.
Just an update on Hugh, Peter. He's here tonight, looks in good nick. Overheard you say as well that he'll be boxing again soon. What can you tell us? What's the plan for Hugh going forward? Fans want to see him in these big fights. You've been saying for a long time, big fights, big fights. Are we going to see one soon?
Well, what can we say? Well, he's back in the gym. He's going to start sparring next week, and we need to have a look at the knee and make sure he can turn on it. So he had knee surgery 9 weeks ago. So he's back in the gym. He's punching, and he's moving. So let's see if the leg's okay. Then on the 8th of November, he's going to be on in Hull. If he's not ready, then he'll definitely be ready for the 28th, hopefully in Holland.
Peter, while I've got you, want to pick your brains on a big heavyweight fight coming up, Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley. On paper, huge step up for Fabio Wardley against a seasoned world level heavyweight in Joseph Parker. What's your read on that fight?
Yeah, one's a polished boxer, so it'll be a tall order because Fabio is easy to hit, and that'll be the kryptonite. But he can hit himself. He's no pushover, is Fabio Wardley, and he brings it. But it's 12 rounds. He's only got to make one mistake. So you'd have to favour Parker in it for the boxing skill and the timing and everything else. Plus, like I said, he's hit pretty easily. So I think in this fight, Fabio Wardley's got to work on his defence and get behind that jab, because this is heavyweight boxing. You can't, when you're stepping up to this level, it's another game altogether. But listen, it's the heavyweight division, so anything can happen.
We saw the launch press conference of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn too. I know you're not a fan of the circus stuff, the pantomime around it, but the fight itself, Peter, based on the weight, the rehydration clause, and what that first fight may have took out of Eubank, do you think Conor Benn, despite losing the first fight, is more live in this fight, or do you think it's repeat rather than revenge?
No, I don't know. I think Ben can do more, and he's going to learn from it. The first one, so and Eubank looked drained at that weight. I'm surprised he's gone in again for the same weight, same rules, because you could see he looked like he was struggling to get to that weight, and it showed in there at times. So I think it's a 50-50. Ben's in with a better chance this time than the first time.
Ben said he's going to box more in the second fight. Is that the game plan you would deploy, or?
Yeah, you've got to box. Look, it's called boxing for a reason. You've got to box. When you're looking for big shots and take somebody's head off, somebody will pick you apart. This is skill set in there. At this level, you've got to box your way in.
And the last thing I want to get your thoughts on, Peter, and I don't know what response I'm going to get, but we see Gervonta Davis, a pound-for-pound star. Many people believe the best lightweight in the world, fighting Jake Paul at 195 pounds. Have you ever seen anything like that, and what's your thoughts on it?
Circus sells. So to me, it's not a boxing match. It's a money-making scheme where people's going to look at it as being ridiculous but want to see it. So that's all it is. So you can't ask me about boxing because it isn't.
Is it a bad reflection of where we are in a sport that, we've seen Jake Paul fight former fighters, but well and truly in the back nine. This is someone very much in their prime. People had fights in mind they wanted to see him in with, and instead we're going down this route.
Like I said, it's good for Gervonta Davis, great for Jake Paul. They're making a lot of money. So that's what it is. As a boxing match, you can't comment on it. It's not a boxing match.
Well, Peter, we'll wrap it up there. Very grateful for the time. Congratulations to yourself and Gradus on a very impressive performance, and really looking forward to seeing him back soon.
Thank you very much.
Peter, really appreciate that, mate.